All right. Hey, this is Paul Slatkus, and I'm speaking to Danielle Brody. Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
This Danielle's, I know her dad, I know her parents for many, many years, many, many, many years. And, and actually, your dad's on my board for many, many years. I don't know, maybe 20 years. I don't know. A long time. Because, see, your dad um, and your family always had a lot of energy, and
Yes.
you put on these great breakfasts way back when, organizational events for helping people become more wise in the world of technology and investment. And I want to thank you for that and applaud you. And I saw you, since I know you for some time, I saw you sort of grow up into the business as well. You joined in, you helped at the front desk, or the things that you did, in this scenario. Now you're a big woman, and you had a great basis, and you had great parents, and have great parents, and we love them. And so, but now you're doing great and carrying on the Brody name. You live in Brooklyn, and you're doing some Danielle's Doodles. What? Yeah, you got a hobby turned into a venture.
I guess. Yeah, that's how I worded it.
So we got to get you venture money. What are your doodles? What are you doing?
Okay, so basically, I was doing stand-up comedy for the past couple of years in the city.
Really?
And yeah, and I would go to open mics, and I actually performed in a few shows. And I was supposed to have a show in May. And then when the pandemic happened, I was like, maybe the show will happen, maybe it won't. And obviously, it didn't happen. And then I found, like, working from home and just being home all day, I was like on the computer and phone and TV so much. So I ordered some colored pencils and just started like drawing. And at some point this summer, I had the idea to turn some of my past life experiences into a doodle. And it was about dating, actually, about like dates that didn't work out. And it was just fun. And I like drew it, and and then I got watercolor and I painted it, and I put it on Instagram, and everyone like really loved it. And then I did another one about my quarantine activities. So like, I don't know, making like nice breakfast every morning, and like wanting a chicken coop in my backyard. And then my dad comes into the picture because, like you said, he's very entrepreneurial, and he doesn't let us have hobbies. So if we have a hobby, he figures out how to turn it into a business. Like once he uncovers a talent, he's like, great, monetize it. So not that I'm monetizing this, but I have started doing a lot more doodles and turning them into little videos. I made a website. I'm putting them all on a lot of like social media channels, and now they're about like lots of different things. And I've been doing it since July, and I've done about almost 40 doodles now, about quarantine, politics, TV, still dating. People love the dating ones. And my sister, who actually lives with me in my apartment, is helping me turn a couple of them into cards. So we have two. Actually, one is right next to me.
Yeah, show me some.
Um,
Show me the goods. All right. So let's. What
oh
do you
my
got
gosh.
here?
Okay.
Show and tell.
Well, okay. This one isn't. I
What's the
can't find the other
website?
one.
What's the website while you're
Oh,
doing it?
okay. So it's DanielleInDoodles.com.
So it's DANIELLE. Danielle Doodles or Dan
No, well, actually, I did buy the URL, DanielleDoodles.com, but it's Danielle in Doodles.
IN?
Yeah.
Danielle in Doodles?
Yeah.
Why do you got the
Because
in? Why do you got the in there?
the in,
Yeah,
I
in
guess
IN.
I could drop it eventually, but it's like the point. I mean, I also own DanielleDoodles.com, but I've been calling it Danielle in Doodles.
Okay, whatever you want, Danielle. It's your gig. Go for it. It seems to me the in is wonderful. But I'm like 70 years old, so who the hell do I know? In
I
any
mean,
case,
I'm open to dropping it. I kind of just did it because at first I was like drawing myself in doodles. So it was like Danielle in Doodles. Oh, I know. I think that there's an Instagram account that exists already called Danielle Doodles, and I started this on Instagram.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was
Well,
why.
now we got to the bottom of that. There's a lot
Yes.
of research work with
Also,
that.
yes, and the
Yes.
funny thing too is that the girl who like Danielle Doodles, the Instagram,
Yeah.
her profile is a little doodle of herself, and
Uh-huh.
then I drew a doodle of myself, and then they actually like look alike. Like the original Danielle Doodles like kind of looks like me, and then I kept getting really confused. I would like type in Danielle Doodles and see her, and I was like, is that me? Like, when did I do this? She's a better drawer than I am.
She can't be funnier than you, though. I'll tell you that. You got good shtick. You got good shtick.
Oh, thank you.
So I'll give you a little more shtick. So what do you mean you do comedy? Then we're going to go look at your things. Well, no, let's look at this one card now. What did you
Okay.
have? You were going to show me.
Well, this one, it's like a little messy because I drew on it, but it's, I don't know if you could see it.
Make a wish and blow out the candles. The X mark. I can't read under the X.
Oh, so the X mark is leaves. So it's make a wish and blow out the leaves, and then it crosses out leaves and says candles, and it's a guy blowing out candles with a leaf blower.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, good. That's good. It's my daughter's birthday. Happy birthday, Jennifer. This is the
Happy
card I
birthday.
made for you.
Well, I have one for a woman. I think it's in my room, so I'll grab it. But yeah, then when you open it, it says happy quarantine birthday.
Oh, nice. What? That's a good thought. That's a good thought. And your sister and you worked on that together?
So yeah, basically I had drawn a doodle of like birthday moments, and I had like one of the little squares, and the doodle was like me blowing out the candles with a blow dryer. And then my sister was like, wait, that's so cute, and like grabbed that image, and she was like, why don't you make this a birthday card? And I was like, well, then I need a man too. And then I also drew like an elephant like spraying out the candles, and I drew kids with snowballs throwing out the candles since
This
we can't like
this is a
blow.
good line. You got a good line of yeah, make a business. Your dad is right.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I'm like, let me try the cards, and then I did some with Santa, and then my sister gave me the idea to do a bat mitzvah one. So sometimes, like, I have the idea. It's like with comedy too. Like, I have an idea, like this funny thing happened, or there's this funny thing happening in the world, but it's like it takes some time to ruminate and figure out like where the joke is. So sometimes I need to give it a few days or even weeks to figure like, and then the joke just comes to me, or my dad or my sister or friend like gives me the idea. So my sister was like, do a bar mitzvah one. And I was like, okay, but I don't know the joke. And then my dad was like, why don't you show people holding like a computer with the kid on Zoom? Like you'd hold up the kid on the chair, but they're holding up the laptop. And I was like, oh, okay, great. So like, there it is. I didn't have to think that hard.
There it is. So give us a little shtick. What do you mean shtick? You're like, yeah, you stood up and you said things out of your mouth that made people laugh? Like what?
Yes.
What would you say to somebody?
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of like, it's hard for me because a lot of my comedy is like based on my life experiences. So another reason I'm a little relieved to be doing the comics is because that my first like comedic sets, I guess, were actually about grief.
Grief?
Because grief, yeah, like loss.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Which sounds a little odd, but yeah, I found that like I was able to tap into that because it is kind of hard to talk about, especially like in my age group. A lot of people haven't experienced grief, and when I did experience it, it was like I didn't know what I was doing, like, which is a kind of a weird way to say it, but it's like a very new experience and a horrible experience, and horrible experiences also can be like darkly funny. So I actually did a stand-up class, and I was talking about my life and my grandma and my dad. You know, it's a lot about my family. And then I had this one joke about how after I experienced loss, I could like get away with anything because people felt so bad for me. And my class was like, oh, that like focus on just the grief. Like that's the joke. So I did, so my show in May was about, it was called, I honestly never came up with a name. I wanted it to be called like Fatally Funny or something, or Die Laughing. And obviously like with the pandemic, it was canceled, and it just like didn't even feel appropriate to like do that show ever. Because now we're like all experiencing a type of grief. But I did have a joke that I liked recently. And it was, so I have a set about the cemetery. And I was like, now we've moved on. It's been 5 years. So we've moved on from going to the cemetery and sobbing. And now when we go to the cemetery, it's like keeping up with the Joneses. We're like comparing like our plot to the other people's plots. And we're like, Dad, like, how come we don't have the Ivy Bush and the Schwartzes do?
I don't know. That's funny stuff. I think, I talk about, that they said that the Jewish community has lasted so long because we laughed a lot at ourselves, and
Yes.
I love that kind of silliness. Vaudeville, Hollywood was built around the Hungarians coming here and making Broadway and making shows and things. Old vaudeville comedy. It's great, and laughter with grief. I think that could be and very well is so much necessary. And people handle it so many different ways, and you need a laugh at the same time. And a laugh is just like it's a cry also. Laughter and crying sound almost the same, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. I remember like in English class, we like learned something like comedy and tragedy are the same, or there's like a very thin line between them. And yeah, like after, experiencing loss, I remember I would like laugh at myself and people were confused. And I was like, no, it's okay. Like I had a panic attack in CVS and ran into my friend from middle school's dad. Like, it's okay. Like I was like laughing at the experience, and that kind of, and he was a psychiatrist and he looked at me like I was a ghost. I was like, shouldn't you be able to manage this situation a little bit better? Like,
that's really good stuff. You're doing great. And so, but what other things are you up to? I mean, you're busy with the doodles and
yes.
that's but there's some artwork to that. Did you go to art school?
No, I have no art background. When I was little, can I grab a few things? I didn't
Yeah,
even
grab.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll
One
do a
sec.
stand-up while you're grabbing.
Okay, I'll take it's a small apartment. It won't take me long to find everything.
Oh, you can take us
I'm
with
just
you.
grabbing. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
no, I think grabbing is a good idea.
Okay. But yeah, I have no art experience, although you probably know that my dad has actually is a pretty good artist. He did like a graphic novel, and he's a good artist.
Uh-huh. Well, I also know your dad is a very good Zulu dancer.
Yeah, I don't really have the dance skills, but I can kick pretty high, which is a requirement for Zulu dancing.
I had him do Zulu dancing on my show. Your dad is on my show doing Zulu dancing.
Oh my God.
I got the best out of him.
When YouTube was new, when my sister and I were in high school, YouTube was this new phenomenon, and my dad put this video of himself doing Zulu dancing on YouTube, and he was so excited about it. And my sister was in tech class, my middle sister Julia. She's 2.5 years younger than me. Anyway, so she's in tech class, and she was like, "Oh, my dad's on YouTube," and showed the video of him dancing, Zulu dancing. And then all the kids were really freaked out because they'd never seen anything like it, and they thought he was in a cult. And so this rumor started going around that my dad was in a cult. And Julia was so embarrassed. She was like, "Dad, take down the video. Everyone keeps talking about you. They showed it in my tech class." And my dad was like, "What are you talking about? This is amazing. My views are skyrocketing."
Your dad, I love your dad. He's he has such moxie. He has such in Yiddish koyak. He has such, he's out there. He is out there. He's out there in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah, definitely. I love his energy. He's definitely inspired us. Every time we're not accepted into something, or he's like, "Go do it yourself, or you have this talent, take it somewhere." So he pushes us. And
do you know your dad and I, we didn't pull it off, but we had the original Shark Tank. Do you know that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember this kind of happening when I was a kid.
We did it in my TV studio down on 18th and 5th. Your dad had the idea, and unfortunately, we didn't celebritize it. You know, we
Right.
didn't make it into the big time, which I should have. I'm not, you know, I'm still living, so I can still do things. But I should have, because I had that network CBS, PBS background. We should have had it in a different level, because the concept is exactly what Shark Tank is. You know, getting the investors to invest into people. And your dad came up with it. I produced it, and in our studio,
Wow.
we did a couple episodes, but we didn't get it into the next level, and we didn't get a deal. You know, it's business. We didn't get a deal with
Yeah.
NBC or ABC or somebody to back us who would have make sure it would became, you know, that kind of level. But your dad kind of he thought of it, no doubt about it. Alan was
Was it called Rags to Riches or something? I remember him
yes,
doing. Yeah.
yes,
I remember
yes.
it. He was first.
It was a lot. He was first. I'm telling you, he was first. Your dad's one of the
He's
first
first to
in
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
things.
things. I know
It's
that.
funny. He was actually first to like this whole drawing. I mean, so he had this idea to like kind of draw the news in like little like comics. So what I'm doing is similar. Like sometimes he pushes me and he's like, do this thing about the news. And I'm like, it's called Danielle Doodles. So if I don't have a connection, like I want to put myself in the doodle somehow, or I have to have some like reason to do it that I relate to. That's kind of like my barometer for, I mean, some of them I haven't related to, but that's kind of been my barometer for like what I'm going to draw.
All
But
right. Well, I want to see what you did. I'll let you know
okay.
one thing, though. I'll just say one thing for you, because it's in the course of all my thousands and thousands of interviews, I interviewed this. Somebody brought me this woman. You know, these professional PR companies. Somebody brought me this woman. Her name is Marissa Mayer. Uh,
Oh,
uh, and I said, they're saying to me, she's climbing the ladder big time YouTube, right? Was it
yeah,
no,
yeah.
at Google? This lady is
Yeah.
going to the. She is like on her way up. I remember them saying this to me, and the interview was on Google Doodles, because she's the
Oh,
one. She did Google Doodles. Do you
oh
know that?
wow.
I
She
believe
drew
it.
them?
She created the concept for
The
Google
concept?
Doodles.
Did she? Wow. I
I
didn't know
think I
that.
think I think I interviewed her. I can't remember. I believe she did. And her mother was a librarian. And we had a nice conversation, and we're talking about Google. This was the announcement, maybe the beginning of Google Doodles,
Wow.
many years ago. And then she became the head of Yahoo and so on. A
Right.
very historic, living, you
Wow.
know, legend, corporate do-gooder. All good. But back to Danielle's Doodles. I mean, in Doodles.
Danielle, yeah, now I have to think about the name. This is good, like talking to someone new and,
Well, no,
you
it's
know,
okay in Doodles. I mean, you know.
we'll see where it goes. Okay, so I grabbed some materials. I wanted to show, because you said, do I have artistic ability? Not really, but I'll preface this by saying I don't know how I still have this book. I made this poetry book when I was in 6th grade, but when I was little, this was a school assignment, but I always used to draw things, and like this is a bunch of poems and stuff from when I was little. So
Oh, that's
like as a
nice.
kid, yeah, it's very cute. I honestly read it and I'm like, I did this when I was 10. Like this isn't bad. Um,
It's good. I like it.
yeah, it's very cute. And as a kid, I used to like draw. Like I loved creative writing. Like I was always like drawing like comics, doing plays, but like drawing the characters, drawing storybooks. Like I wasn't like great at drawing, but it was just a good way for me to express myself. And I was kind of shy back in the day, so it helped to just do that, you know, by
That's a
myself.
good one. I like it.
Yeah. So, and then as I got older, I wrote more like, I wrote more, and then I got into journalism. I studied journalism in college, and my first job out of school was a reporter, but I still always felt like I was neglecting the creative side, and I missed it. And now I work in content marketing, which is still more, I mean, it's like journalism, but paid for by somebody.
Yeah, I remember that because I think your dad thought about, you were actually working with me now that I think of it. I mean, I'm close with your dad.
Yeah.
You working with me doing didn't you? You were working up in Westchester at a newspaper. Was that
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that was my first job. Yeah, Westchester County Business Journal. And then I started writing for Fairfield County Business Journal, but it was the same
Right,
office.
right. I remember that. Yeah. I've
Yeah.
been
So
growing up with you too.
I know. And I would write about business, and I just like I think I'm a good writer and I like interviewing people, but I wouldn't say I'm like how do I say it? Like, I didn't think I could pursue journalism super seriously just because you need this like real intensity about like getting the scoop and getting the story. And I don't know if I had that intensity, even though I liked other aspects of it. And I also just always knew I wanted to kind of be on the business side.
And now you're doing content marketing. Yes? Is that
Yes.
what's the word?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, content marketing. I work at Business Insider, so it's almost like we're an
Oh,
agency within BI, and like clients come to us when they want to do, publish content on our site, and then I'm on the editorial side of that, so I help them like come up with story ideas, and then I'll like hire freelancers to write the stories, and then I'll edit them and put them online for the client.
all right. Anything
Yeah.
else people should know about you, Danielle?
I don't know. I feel like I freelance write as well for a magazine in Astoria. And I volunteer for the American Marketing Association, and I do the doodles. I just wanted to show you the other card and a couple
Okay,
more if that's okay.
sure.
So here's the other card. This is the original birthday picture. It says, make a wish and blow out the candles, and she's
Nice.
blowing it out with a blow dryer.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
And then I've got this is like, it's so like not tech. Like I literally have a stack of the doodles. They're all like hand drawn on paper. Here's the one. I'm trying to find a good one. Okay, this one's about going back to the office. I don't know if you can totally see it.
Yeah,
But
we
my
can
office.
see it.
Okay, so it's called Everything I Forgot When I Went Back to the Office, and this is about going back to the office after it was closed, for the pandemic. And I write about going to the wrong floor, forgetting my building ID, forgetting that humidity ruins my hair, and then getting lost.
I'm crazy about this. You know what we are? We're going to run out of time on Zoom.
Ah.
So,
Oh, okay.
so let me ask you one more. Let me ask the last question. So, good news for you is what? What's good news for Danielle Brody? What's good
Good
news?
news?
What do you hear?
You mean like good news that I like to hear? Good news like that would happen to me?
So, what would be good news for you to happen to you? All right.
I mean, when I post these doodles, sometimes I include like a celebrity just because they're relevant, like about a TV show. The actress in the TV show liked it, and that was very good news for me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Well, I love those. You're very talented, and
Thank you.
yeah, and have good energy. So
Thank
I
you.
only wish you the best and continue on. And if there's anything I can do, you let me know
Thank you.
to help.
I'm gonna send you a doodle I'm working on because it's good news. It's 4 things that make me cry in the pandemic, but they're all kind of like positive, like TV shows and like happy friend news and music playing on the street.
All right, send me that, and I'll use that picture.
Okay, I
All
think
right,
that one's relevant. Thank you so much for
okay,
talking to me. This was fun.
Danielle, thanks so much. Appreciate it. All
All
right, take
right.
care. Bye-bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.